Welcome to the Star Trek Apologist, where we believe Star Trek is without error. After the video is over, please follow my link to the pilot episode of my series, Captain's Log Galactic Police. The show does need some fine-tuning, but I have some great story ideas, but I need subscribers. The idea for the Exploration Era calendar is an early idea of mine. TOS was very vague early on about when it was dated, so rather than trying to relate the calendar to ours, I decided to just start over and date events relative to each other. My first video on this channel was a Go Animate video where I lay out the calendar, but that one went through the series and ended there. For this video, I will be going over the entire calendar from the beginning through Star Trek VI.
Second star to the right. And straight on till morning.
Then I will date this calendar and compare it to the official dates. This channel only treats TOS, TNG, and the first 6 movies as canon, but I do acknowledge that most fans like the new Star Trek. I have even made a few videos offering apologetics for the other treks that I do not cover. I want to use this video as a breaking off point for future videos, where I might have to talk about both mine and the canon dates for events. I consider production order to be the canon order for the original series. I made a video about stardates where I outlined why that is the best order, even over stardate or air order. I'll leave a link below to the full video. The last thing is I throw out all assumptions. 1 year, 1 season is one that comes to mind. Also, I only care about what is said or seen on screen. As I said, I call it the Exploration Era Calendar, or EE Calendar. EE0, the launch of the Columbia, to the cage. I choose the launch of the Columbia as EE0 because in the cage we are told the time barrier is broken.
And you won't believe how fast you can get back. Well, the time barrier's been broken.
The line also suggests that it was an advancement that made space travel much quicker. The cage dates itself by saying the Columbia was lost in that area 18 years ago.
SS Columbia disappeared in that region approximately 18 years ago,
making the cage EE18. The Menagerie. Spock clearly tells us that the events of the cage was 13 years ago.
This is 13 years ago. The Enterprise.
Pretty simple math. EE18 plus 13 is 31, placing the Menagerie in EE31. Where no man has gone before to the Menagerie. So how long before the Menagerie was the second pilot on this calendar? At some point, I want to make a myth video about this line.
Hey man, I remember you back at the academy. A stack of books with legs. The first thing I ever heard from an upperclassman was, watch out for Lieutenant Kirk. In his class, you either think or sink.
It is very often believed that he was talking about Kirk being an instructor at the academy, especially because the first thing Gary heard from his upperclassmen was, watch out for Lieutenant Kirk. In his class, you either think or sink. While that is one interpretation, he could just be saying that Kirk was such a nerd that in any class that you share with him, you'll need to think quickly on your feet, or he will quickly overcome you. This is backed up by the comment that Kirk was a stack of book with legs. With the final nail in the coffin is shore leave. These lines show that Kirk was a freshman when he met Mitchell 15 years ago.
The first thing I ever heard from an upperclassman was, watch out for Lieutenant Kirk. In his class, you either think or sink.
Our task, transport down a man I've known for 15 years.
I never answer questions from plebes, Jimmy boy. I'm not a plebe. This is today. 15 years later.
I like the idea that maybe Finnegan was the one who made the stack of books comment. But anniversaries are not usually round up or down. That means that these two episodes are less than a year apart. The last question is, what part of the year? In Charlie X, we are told that it is Thanksgiving on Earth. And in Dagger of the Mind, they mention a recent Christmas party.
On Earth today, it's Thanksgiving. If the crew has to eat synthetic meatloaf, I wanted to look like turkey.
Don't you remember? The science lab Christmas party?
Yes, I remember.
You dropped in?
Yes, I remember.
Both of these suggest that episodes 2 through 10 are late EE30, thus shore leave early EE31. Our next hint is in The Deadly Years, when Sulu said that he had served with Kirk for 2 years.
How long have you served with Captain Kirk?
2 years, sir.
Sulu was in the second pilot.
Department head, sir, you wanted everybody on the bridge before we left the galaxy?
Astrocytes is standing by, Captain.
Engineering division ready, as always.
Life science is ready, sir.
Clearly in the late EE30s, so it had to take place no later than EE32. It could be earlier, since we have no evidence of when Sulu joined the Enterprise crew. In Day of the Dove, King tells us that they have been at peace with the Federation for 3 years.
3 years, the Federation and the Klingon Empire have been at peace.
But they went to war with the Klingons in Error of Mercy.
We are to proceed to Organia and take whatever steps are necessary to prevent the Klingons from using it as a base.
Automatic all points relay from Starfleet Command, Captain. Code 1.
Well, there it is. War. We didn't want it, but we've got it.
Error of Mercy is hard to place, but it is late enough to be late EE31 or early EE32. I tend to think that it is late EE31. Placing Day of the Dove in late EE34, although the law of estimation could place it in early EE34 to early EE35. You could not be talking in Klingon years, because a Klingon year is 3 Earth years. That would make this 9 years later, or late E40. Maybe I'll explain a Klingon year in another video. Just one hint, Alexander. Quarterly physicals. In the Carbonite Maneuver, Kirk logs that he was undergoing a quarterly physical.
Sickbay. Quarterly physical check.
This is important information because anytime we hear about a physical, it must take place in regular intervals to other physicals. But an important question is, do they do physicals for the same time for the entire crew? If they did, then we don't have to worry about whose physical it is. The answer comes in for The World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. Here, we are told by McCoy that he has finished the physical for the entire crew.
Just completed the standard physical examinations for the entire crew.
By TNG, this was changed to a yearly physical scheduled custom for each crew, as this line from Allegiance suggests.
Your annual physical isn't due for another month.
Physicals are explicitly mentioned in the Carbonite Maneuver, a mock time,
Suggested to Spock that it was time for his routine checkup.
Journey to Babel,
I underwent a physical examination last week. Would you pull those records, please?
and For the World is Hollow. Carbonite Maneuver is obviously a late EE30 adventure, so either physical 3 or 4 that year. I favor physical 3 to give more time for the rest of the episodes of the year. A mock time, I like to think, is one of the first 2 physicals of EE32, and Journey to Babel may be early EE33. I also suspect that Shore Leave is a physical episode, since Spock brings out a report from Dr. McCoy about Kirk.
I picked this up from Dr. McCoy's log. We have a crew member aboard who's showing signs of stress and fatigue. Reaction time down 9 to 12%.
Although it is never explicitly called a physical. Coming on the heels of Menagerie, it would likely be Physical 2 from EE31. I also suspect Error of Mercy to be a late EE31 physical, since McCoy is missing from the episode, given that the Federation ordered Kirk to make contact and secure the world at all costs.
We are to proceed to Organia and take whatever steps are necessary to prevent the Klingons from using it as a base.
McCoy's medical knowledge would have been useful. Kirk even offers their medical advancements.
We can be of immense help to you. In addition to military aid, we can send you specialists, technicians, and disease, hunger, hardship.
Since we don't even see a member of McCoy's staff, perhaps they are busy performing physicals on the entire crew. One last thing. While the 5-year mission is never spoken of on screen outside of the beginning credits, we might still consider it canon, but only for the episodes where it is brought up. That would be episode 3, which, as we said, is a mid-EE30 adventure, making the end of the 5-year mission mid-EE35. Thanks for watching my video. I will have a link to my Galactic Police pilot episode, and here are a few video ideas for this channel. Deptor Asmusta.